Hey, how you doing, everybody? My name is Unquestionable Calvin. I talk to people about what they believe and why they believe it. It is currently Wednesday, February 25th at 5:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're joining me live on TikTok, welcome in. How's it going? Make sure to request to be a guest if you'd like to talk about religion, or honestly, if we're just going to kind of play it a little chill today. This is actually the second live I did today because I wasn't feeling super hot earlier today, and I just was off, so it just, I don't know. So I'm just doing a redemption live here, because I'm feeling a little bit better. I got some food in me, took a shower, freshened up and stuff. So I'm feeling a little bit better. So I'm here to have a good conversation with some people, and maybe we can get to the bottom of some stuff here. But if you're a believer, make sure to call up. You can request to be a guest, and we can talk about why you believe in that. If you're an atheist, you can call up. You can talk about really whatever you want. Think of today this is a topic, right? We have the topic of God as the bad guy in the Bible going on. But also, we don't have to adhere to that specific topic. If you're an atheist and want to call up and just have a little chit chat, we can do that. Because I'll be honest, guys, I think I might take a break next week. I don't know if I'm going to do a live stream next week. At least my regular Wednesday live stream. Don't know. I think I just kind of need a break. Maybe I'll still do a live stream at some point next week, but I don't know if it'll be on Wednesday. I don't know if it will be a religion live stream, if anything. Don't know. Hey guys, how's it going? User bin Shinji Ikari. Hello, hi, how's it going? Kimberly Gay AF. Funny name. Hi, how's it going? Guys, if you're watching this post-production over on YouTube, because as long as we get some callers up in here, this can get posted up on YouTube for other people to watch later. If you're watching it on YouTube, thanks for being on YouTube. Thanks for being on. Okay. I think I'm back now, right? Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. My calling him Baldy, right? This is 2 Kings 2:24, I want to say. I could be off on that. I think it's 2 Kings 2:24. Fact check me on that. Yeah, I know the stream froze for a minute. But anyways, yeah. Some kids come out, start calling Elisha Baldy. They start making fun of him for being bald. And so what he does, he turns around and he curses them all in the name of God. And in that moment, 2 giant she-bears, it explicitly says she-bears, I don't, maybe female bears, I guess. They came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the children. Mauled them all. And Elisha is just like, cool, great. And then walks away. And that's it. That's the end of the story. It's 5 or 6 verses long, pretty funny. Chris B67 says, how is God the bad guy? He condones and commits genocide, rape, and slavery on many occasions. In the Bible, of course, because he's not actually real. So he's never actually done anything in real life. But in the Bible, he's done a lot. All right, guys, we do have a caller. Before I bring up any callers, just know, Jake, I already gave you my favorite Bible story. Anyways, before I bring up the first guest, just know, first of all, I log all of my callers. So if you try to say or do anything that's not cool, then I'll have it documented and you'll never be allowed up. With that being said, please don't violate any community guidelines here on TikTok or on YouTube, because we just can't have that. I can't get my stream taken down. And please be at least 18 is all. Clayplight says, why do you attack Christians? I don't. I attack Christianity. All right, let's bring up Evan Schatz.
Sorry.
Anyways, you just let my live load back up. Anyways, are you at least 18 and do you believe in God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. What God do you believe in?
The God of the Bible, Jesus.
Okay. Why? What's the number one reason? Besides, no, really sorry, not to cut you, but besides personal experience, right? Because you having a personal experience that I wasn't there to experience with you, I can't really
right.
Do anything. So but besides personal experience.
Well, I believe in the Bible, and so just comparing my logic to creation in the Bible, I guess that's where my understanding and belief for him came from.
So I'm assuming you've read the Bible, right? Like totally
Yes,
entire
sir.
beginning to end.
Um, I'm not sure of every single verse, but I've read most of the Bible. Yes, sir.
Okay, gotcha. You'd say you have a pretty all right understanding of it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you think that, well, based on the prompt that I have going on, do you think that God is like the overall good guy or a bad guy?
I believe that. Yeah, he is the overall good guy. Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you think everything that God did in the Bible was good?
Yes,
How
I
you
believe
would
that God
define
is
as
only
good,
good.
at least.
Well, I would define as good.
Yeah, like based on like your definition of good, and like when you look or experience something and you say that's a good thing that happened. Like based on
Uh-huh.
your understanding of what good is, do you think that the things that God was doing in the Bible could be considered all good?
Yes, all holy, all good. Yes, sir.
Interesting. Even
But
though
is there
he,
specific things that you think that weren't good?
yes.
Maybe- Could you maybe name a few?
There's the commandment of cannibalism. There's commandments of slavery and genocide, and uh, grape, for lack of a better, more good term.
Mhm. Where
Yeah,
do you
just
find
overall, just kind of being a jerk.
the commandment of cannibalism?
That's Ezekiel. I literally just put a video of this out today. It's Ezekiel 5. I want to say. Shoot, I don't have that ready. Yeah, if you want to give me a second, I can pull it up. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
for
it's
sure.
it's God telling people to cannibalize each other.
Hmm.
Ezekiel, I think it's okay. Maybe it's 39:21. Okay, maybe let's see. Ezekiel 30. Come on now. Ezekiel, where are you? Ezekiel. No, not Ezra. Jesus Christ. Come on now. Okay, there we go. Ezekiel. What did I have written down? 20 or 39:21. My bad. Yep. Ezekiel 39:18 to be more specific, through 21. It says, I'll read from 17. It's the beginning of the paragraph. So Ezekiel 39:17 starts off by saying, "And now, son of man, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Call all the birds and wild animals, say to them, gather together for my great sacrificial feast. Come from far and near to the mountains of Israel, and there eat flesh and drink blood. Eat the flesh of mighty men and drink the blood of princes, as though they were rams, lambs, goats, and bulls, all fattened animals from Bashan. Gorge yourselves with flesh until you are glutted. Drink blood until you are drunk. This is the sacrificial feast I have prepared for you." This, and then at the very end it says, "Feast on my banquet table, feast on the horses, charioteers, on mighty men of all kinds of valiant warriors, says the sovereign Lord." So instead of God
Mhm.
saying don't eat people, he's telling them have a great time doing it.
Right. Well, the passage isn't speaking literally; it's speaking figuratively
How
or
do you know that?
symbolically. Well, you just have to. It's how you. It's how you. What's the word I'm looking for? If you read the whole chapter,
I have.
and you find out interpreting. That's the word I'm looking for. You have to interpret it the right way. The Ezekiel
So you don't think I was
is
interpreting
writing.
that correctly?
No, sir.
Here, oh,
He's not.
here's the one actually I was looking for earlier. It says it's in Ezekiel 5:10. It says well, in 5:9, if you back it up, it says, "Because of your detestable idols, I will punish you like I have never punished anyone before or ever will again. Parents will eat their own children, and children will eat their parents. I will punish you and scatter to the winds the few who survive." So again, that's God saying that he is going to make people eat each other.
Right. What verse is that again?
Ezekiel 5:10.
Oh,
It
let's look
says
it up
if you refuse to, it says the sovereign Lord says, because you have refused to obey my decrees and regulations, he's gonna make them eat each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Well,
that's just one of the, so
is it
like
therefore
kind
the
of going on
father
like
shall eat
that's just
sons in
one
the
of the
midst of
many
thee,
reasons why God would be
and the
considered the bad
son,
guy to me.
therefore the father shall eat the sons in the midst of thee, and the son shall eat the father. Is that what you're speaking of?
So I didn't catch what you just said.
Therefore the father shall eat their sons in the midst of thee, and the sons shall eat their fathers.
Is that Ezekiel 5:10 that you're reading?
Right. Are you reading from KJV?
No.
Right.
No,
So different
yeah,
translations.
okay. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
it was the same, just different
Yeah.
wording and stuff. But yeah, it's the same.
Right.
It's the same thing,
Well,
right?
God here in this passage, it's descriptive, not perspective. He's speaking of a curse.
Yeah, that God's gonna curse people to eat their children, and their children's gonna eat them. So like, couldn't God just maybe make a punishment that didn't involve eating each other? Maybe.
Well, God, right in this passage, he's speaking to Israel, and right now Israel's going down a not good path. They're rebelling against him, and this is God simply warning Israel. This isn't him telling them you should do this. This is good. I command you to do this. This is a horrific consequence of siege warfare and judgment if they persist in the rebellion.
Right, and so the
It was
punishment
known
is
as a
going to
covenant
be
curse.
eating each other. So
Well, it was
couldn't
known
there?
as a covenant curse.
Right, so like God could just like again make a different punishment that doesn't involve people eating their children.
Right. Well, see,
Do
God
you
didn't
agree?
actually
I mean, do you
make
agree?
up. Well,
Who made
God did not.
that law? Like who made that like
God
who
did
made?
not make it. The Israelite people made it.
Oh, so the Israelite people are more informed than God is.
No. God's going by the laws that Israel had in the time. Israel's mind was the worst possible outcome for a national collapse or a famine would be cannibalism. You can find it in Leviticus and in Deuteronomy. This was the law of Israel. And so God told them, if you continue down this path, this is what is going to happen.
Right. And do
It's
you
a
think
sign
that
of
that's
judgment.
like being an all-knowing, all-powerful God, knower of everything, whatever, that he couldn't have come up with any other form of punishment than people eating each other?
Right. Well, once again, he's not speaking literally. He's speaking
He is, though.
symbolically.
He's saying that he's going to
No,
curse
no,
them and
that was
people are going to do that.
That was Israel's worst punishment, and so he's using their worst punishment as a symbolism, as you will end up going down this path. You will end up destroyed. He's using their worst punishment as a symbol.
Right.
Of
So
what
God
happened.
could just, again, not let people eat each other. But
Well, he
anyways,
wasn't
we've kind of been on
planning
this cannibalism topic for a while. I guess the main point here, the main point that I'm trying to make is that this is one of the many examples of God being the bad guy in the Bible, is that he is commanding the consumption of other human beings as a punishment. And I mean,
Well,
we
he
can
wasn't commanding.
to other places like the slavery and the genocide and the grape, too. I just, I'm curious as to like why you would want to follow something that condones and commits these things.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't condone. He doesn't command them,
He
or
does.
neither does he commit them. Well, it just all
Are
comes
you
down
saying that
to
he
interpreting
doesn't
scripture
command
correctly.
grape? He doesn't make it
He
happen.
commands it.
Yes.
Can you show me where he commands it?
2 Samuel 12.
Look that up real quick.
2 Samuel 12:11, where David is, God's mad at David for disobeying. So what God does is he says that I'm going to bring trouble upon your household and take your wives and give them to another man where he will sleep with them in front of all of Israel. And then when you jump to 2 Samuel 16, that's when it actually happens, when Absalom breaks into the palace and has his way with all of his stepmoms. And David goes unpunished. And that's because God says, I am going to cause the trouble in your household. It's a talking in personal pronouns. He's saying, I'm going to do it. I will do it. I will cause it. It's causative. So it's God saying that he's going to make David's wives get raped because of what David did.
Right. Well, once again, God is foreshadowing what will happen.
No. Well,
if
yeah.
David
Well,
goes
so
down this
yeah,
path.
yes and no. So what he's saying is that he's making a promise to David. He's saying, I am going to take your wives and give them to another man. That's what he says. And then it happens. He makes a prophecy basically, and then it happens in 2 Samuel 16. So like, yeah, he made a prediction that he already knew was going to come true, and then it came true.
Right. Okay.
So when he
so
could have
what
just,
is happening here?
instead of punishing David, he punished all of David's wives. Doesn't really make
Right.
sense.
What is happening here is Absalom, David's son, went and publicly sleeps with David's concubines. We see in 2 Samuel or whatever. And so God is not. What is the word I'm trying to find here? God is not. This isn't rape in a sense.
It is.
It's God is speaking of neighbor. He's speaking of Absalom,
it's
son.
literal. It's literal sexual assault. It is rape.
Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up evil against thee out of thine own house, and I will take thine wives before thine eyes, and give them unto thy neighbor, and he shall lie with thy wives in the sight of the sun.
And
right,
then the wives are taken and given to who?
I will give them unto thy neighbor. The neighbor he's
who are they
speaking
given
of Absalom.
to? Absalom is the answer. Absalom gets the wives and has sex with his stepmoms.
Are you speaking of the same verse or moving on to
this
the
is 2 Samuel 16. And 2 Samuel 16 is when it actually happens, and then Absalom breaks into the palace. He breaks in. You know, he's what's the word I'm looking for? You know, he's fighting. He's fighting with David, right? He's pissed off at David, his dad. So he goes and has his way with all of his stepmoms. Do you think that all of his stepmoms consented to this?
Right. Well, that comes in the definition of a concubine. They're basically, forgive my language, they're whores. That they live.
Yeah,
for
let's
that.
not use that word.
Well, it's what they are. Respectfully, they live.
But
for
let's not
that.
use it mostly for TikTok purposes.
For sure.
I don't want to get taken down.
Absolutely,
so,
I respect that. But that's what
that's why I use
for.
grape instead of, you know, the other one. If you get what I'm saying, you know.
Right. I understand.
Personally, like if we were on YouTube only, I wouldn't really care. But just TikTok is
absolutely.
But yeah, no. Who cares if they were concubines or not? If they were prostitutes or not? Who cares? They received the punishment of being raped by their stepson. And David got off scot-free.
It was a punishment on David. Do you really think they got a punishment out of it?
Yes. Did David get penetrated by his son?
Okay, it's different on males and females.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that David is receiving a punishment when his son is physically penetrating with his genitals his 10 wives? And God says, I'm going to make this happen. Do you think, like, what you think that David's got it worse?
No, God isn't saying he's making it happen. God is just warning him what
he actually does, and literally every Christian theologian agrees that it's God that is making it happen because he says it right there in the verse. And if you draw it back to the Hebrew and the Aramaic and stuff, it breaks down to it being it is causative personal pronoun. So it is God saying, I'm literally, actually, physically making this happen. That's what it means when you actually trace it all the way back to its original verbiage. It breaks down to it as a personal thing where God is actually saying he is literally going to make this happen. And then it happens. Wow, surprise.
Sorry, I'm just reading over the verse again.
Well, so, and that's the thing too, is that you're also reading a King James, which is a really shitty translation. Granted, this translation is pretty shitty too, which I can admit that, but King James is really bad, man. Really, really terrible. So it's like you reading the King James is just not gonna do anything. I encourage you to actually go look at the original, quote unquote, you know, the oldest texts that we have of it in its original languages, where it's very causative that God is doing it.
Okay, well, once again, it's also being misinterpreted, and I feel like I can't explain it to you.
It's really not.
Well, I mean, it's the same. It's not like God did not force the sin. It's like God hardened Pharaoh's heart without forcing sin. And, you know, it was ultimately Absalom's decision to do that. Yes, God gave him the opportunity, yet Absalom acted upon it.
Right, so God could have not let that happen by just not literally saying that he was going to, because God says he's going to give, he's going to take and give. You read it on the live. He's going to take and give the wives, right? They're not even being used as people; they're being used as property, because people in the Bible didn't see women as being real people; they were used as property and currency. So that's why, like, he
Well,
was,
no, concubines sell themselves to people like that, to where they are bought for
cool.
that. And so that's what they are. I mean, they sold
Cool, great.
themselves.
Still were considered as wives, so they were still people. Do you not think that they were still people and had bodily autonomy?
No, absolutely, they were.
Yeah. So do you think that they had the
But
ability to say no to Absalom?
yes,
No, they didn't. You think that's how grape works?
right. This
You, you,
passage
you
is
think you think that God says, I am going to make this happen, and then Absalom shows up to make it happen, and the concubines could still say no.
right.
And
Well,
he would
God
just
didn't
go,
make it happen.
shoot, maybe next time, turns around and leaves the palace. Like,
Right.
come on,
Well,
dude,
if
really?
you read the verse, I will raise up evil against thee out of thy house. I will take thy wives before thine eyes and give them unto thy neighbor, and he shall lie with thy wives. He didn't make it happen. He predicted it happening.
No, he
Yes,
said he
God
was going to
gave it.
make it happen. You read it at the very beginning.
I will rise up evil against thee out of thine own house.
Yep. I will
Right.
rise up
Speaking about
evil.
it.
He literally says it right there. You keep reading it.
Right. This is what Jesus does. And I will take thy wives
That's
before
not
thine eyes.
Jesus.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will
Well, I mean,
rise up evil against thee
I
out
mean,
of
if
thine
you
eyes.
think Jesus is God, then I mean,
Yes,
that's a
God.
gross can of worms that could really open up. But
And I will take thy wives, God. And what we're
do
speaking
you
of.
think that's okay? So do you think that the Holy Spirit, God, and Jesus are all one? They're the same thing.
The Trinity, yes, sir.
They're all one, though, right?
Yes.
So you believe Jesus scraped his mother to give birth to himself, to sacrifice himself to himself for the sins that he created. You think that Jesus sexually assaulted his own mother then?
Jesus never did that.
Is he the Holy Spirit?
Is Jesus? Yes. No. Jesus is not the Holy Spirit, yet they are
You said
one.
they were, though.
Jesus is Jesus. Jesus is God in the form of human. The Holy Spirit is God in the form of a spirit, and God is God, the one in heaven.
So when I asked, so then you were lying when I asked you if Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and God were all one and the same.
Right.
You think they're all the same thing,
connected,
right?
but-
They're all the same. That's what I was saying. Not that they're connected. Are they all the same? That was my question.
So you're thinking the Holy Spirit is Jesus, and they're both in the same form, like they look
Well,
identical. Is that what you're saying?
I'm asking you, and what I originally asked was God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Are they all the same thing? Are they identical to each other? Are they all Are they all one? Like when the Bible says that the Holy Spirit is doing something, is that also God and Jesus? When it says Jesus is doing something, is that also the Holy Spirit and God? When it says God is doing something, is that also Jesus and the Holy Spirit? Are they all one, or are they three separate entities independent of each other?
Right. It's. I think what you're asking, I wouldn't say they're all one. No, yet they are connected, though.
Okay, great. Cool. That clarifies. So then, yeah, okay. Great. You know that Jesus can't be the Messiah, right? If Joseph isn't his biological dad, right?
That's not true.
So what it says,
Well,
it says that the Son of Man, the Messiah, is going to be from the loins of David, right? That comes from 2 Samuel. I'm losing it right now. It's somewhere in 2 Samuel. But yeah, it says that the Messiah is going to be from the loins of David. Who was Jesus? Like Jesus's like dad? Like who impregnated Mary? Is my question.
Well, God the Father is a virgin birth. Well,
Right.
what you're
So
misunderstanding, Joseph isn't from the line of David.
Hang
Mary
on.
was.
So yeah, so that's what I'm saying is that Joseph is from the line of David, right? But Mary is from nope. Hang on. But Mary is from the line of Aaron, and that's actually stated in Luke 1:26, where it's saying that Elizabeth is actually, she's pregnant at the time. Elizabeth is pregnant and is a relative of Mary's, and Elizabeth is a Levite. They're descendant of Aaron, which if Elizabeth and Mary are relatives, that would mean that Mary is a Levite, and she is not part of. She's not a Judite, so then she wouldn't have the line of David in her. So if the Holy Spirit impregnated Mary, then that means that Jesus is not actually from the line of David, because Joseph didn't give birth. And also, it states that the lineage, regardless of if you could somehow prove that Mary is actually descendant of Joseph, it doesn't matter, because the Bible also says that it has to be of the father's lineage. It has to be a male lineage. They didn't care about women lineages, because women weren't people. they didn't care. They wanted the man lineage. So it has to be of a male lineage of David, which is Joseph, and Joseph wasn't Jesus's dad, so he can't be the Messiah.
Right. Yeah, he was still his father, though.
Sure, but he was adopted. He was not from the loins of David. It says specifically from the loins of David. That's coming from his dick and balls. Jesus didn't come from Joseph's dick and balls.
No. Loins, it means lineage or ancestry.
No, loins mean your dick and balls.
No,
that's
loins
from
in
your
the Bible.
Loins. Your loins. That's
loins refer to the place of pre-creation, meaning
so
the male line.
Now words don't mean words.
Ancestor. Loins refers to the place of pre-creation in the Bible, meaning the male line.
Let's do that then. So again, even if you say, okay, sure, it's from whatever, cool, great, that's how you want to define loins. It doesn't matter if you want it to, because again, it's still not. Joseph isn't Jesus's biological dad. So that means that even if you want to throw your loin language around or whatever, Mary, which she wasn't, but if she was from the line of David, it wouldn't matter, because the Bible says it has to come from the man, not the woman.
Where does it say that?
I could find it for you. I don't have it written down.
Oh, that'd be great. But I mean, we see the bloodline is from Mary to David to Nathan, and the legal status is Joseph to David to Solomon. So if you're speaking legally, like they needed to be the man, it'd still be Joseph. He wasn't his biological father. He was his legal father. So under the law, it still is correct.
2 Samuel 7 is where it says, 2 Samuel 7, 12 through 16 is where it says that it has to be according to David's flesh. Let me see here. Dang, man, I really got this. You're the second person to bring this up, and I don't ever freaking write it down. I need to, once I find this, I got to write it down. But anyways, I guess while I look this up, the point of what I'm talking about is that the God of the Bible is most certainly the bad guy in the Bible. When you when you look at just the kill count between the two, I mean, Satan only killed 10 people in the Bible, in Job, or I'm sorry, was it Job? I could be wrong about that. I don't think it was Job. No, wait, it was Job, because God allowed him to kill somebody. Wait, did he leave? Oh my gosh, oh my God, he ran. I was over there researching stuff and he ran away. Brother, we were mid conversation. You ran while I was on Google, man. Oh man. All right. Well, I guess I'll look into that verse later, I guess, since now there's not a point to. Wow. Okay. Well, sorry. I mean, well, okay. Bye. Dang, I thought we were having an all right conversation. Hey guys, thanks for being here. If you're watching this live on TikTok, make sure to double tap the screen and share it with your friends to get some theists up in here. And if you're watching this post-production on YouTube, thanks for being here. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content and debates like these. Man, what happened to that last guy? It's interesting. Where'd he go? Okay. All right. Well, let's bring up the next guest. Hey, before we get started, are you at least 18 and do you believe in a God?
Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm way over 18. I hate that. Way over, way over.
All right. And do you believe in God?
I believe in a God, sure.
Okay. What one?
Specifically, his name is called Ralph.
Okay. Can you describe Ralph? Are you trolling?
No, not trolling at all. I mean, you may not be old enough to remember who Ralph is, but he was part of a group called the Life is Glad Cult.
Never heard of it.
You never heard of this? They used to sing in repetitive chant, shakalaka, shaka How old are you?
30.
You probably don't know who Rerun is, right? From What's Happening. Never saw the show?
No.
Give you a little homework. You can run and watch it on YouTube. But either way, we worship a head of lettuce as part of a Mother Nature cult.
So you're a troll religion.
What do you mean a troll religion?
Like the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, Satanism. No. You're a troll religion.
No, we just put as much, belief as any Christian or Jew or Muslim or Buddhist or Hindu.
I'm sorry, but no, you don't.
Into Ralph. Ralph is
no, you don't. You can. It's okay. You can
admit
that it's a troll religion, man. You're not like this isn't. You're not being watched or anything. I promise. Like it's not. It's not a big deal.
We can prove his origin. He's from the south side of Chicago.
So what can you describe your God to me? Like how can we demonstrate that your God exists?
Sure. He's lettuce. He's life sustaining. Something all vegetarians eat.
Okay. So I think I'm gonna let you go because I'm not into the trolls. Okay. I'm not into it. It's like if at least have a funny, fake religion, at least like be from the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster or something, but that was stupid. I'm sorry. That wasn't even funny. Wasn't even funny. I'm only laughing because it's just like, bro really thinks that he's some comedian or something. All right. Well, thanks for being here, guys. I'm going to say thanks to some of the gifters up in here. Enrique Monclair sending a heart me and a pop. JJ Pie sending a heart me and Martin sending a heart me as well. Appreciate all you guys. Hey, before we get started, are you at least 18? Do you believe in a God?
Yes, I do. And I'm 46 years old.
Okay, great. What God do you believe in?
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I was born in this religion. Okay. And because I believe that a God exists. But I believe he's a monster.
Oh, interesting. So you think that God exists, but he's evil?
Yes. He believes in rape. He believes in bad marriages where husbands abuse the wife. He believes... I was part of the Orthodox Romanian Church. I'm from Romania, 46 years old. I was Christian since I was 8 years old. I really believed in God. I was disappointed in high school when I saw that Jesus says, you are only allowed to divorce if he cheated you. But if he beated you, you are not allowed to divorce. I was already disappointed. But I thought we have a free will. And eventually, if we want to, we can divorce. But the church imposed the monstrosity speak about from the Bible. The Romanian Orthodox Church admitted that it's real, but they agree with a God like that. They say if you contradict them, they say that we judge God and he's bigger than us and we don't understand him.
So okay, so you think that God is a monster.
Yes,
I mean, why do you believe it? Do you believe that he's real though? Like, do you believe that God is real?
In some part, I do believe that he's real.
Okay.
It will
What?
shock you. Why? Do you want to know
Yeah,
why?
yeah. Why are you convinced that this evil god
Many
exists?
of the priests I went to, the ones that are recognized as holy, they do actually know what I think, and I could give you even examples. And they keep telling me, "How do you think I know if I'm not a man of God?"
Oh,
I
okay.
was once thinking before I went to the confession, I would like to ask the priest. It was a silly thought. I would like to ask the priest, is according to science the yellow white or white? Was a silly thought. Of course, I wasn't going to say that to the priest. When I went to the confession, he told me. So white, the light, it's like you say it is, yellow white. He used to know, but I don't want to get married. I refused to get married. He knew that, and he was very upset from the first day he met me. All kind of stuff like that.
So do you have any like? I mean, do you have anything? Any evidence for this god? I mean, or
Yeah, that's weird because the only miracles they can perform is those stupid saying what you saying everything about you, knowing your thoughts, but they cannot heal. They can also curse where they love curses.
hey, well, listen, I
God
appreciate
will
you
do
calling
this
up.
to you if you
It
don't
sounds
get
like
married. God will rape you, and so you will
Yep.
get married with worse.
All right, listen, I appreciate you calling up. I'm gonna let you go for right now. It sounds like you're pretty much an atheist, you know. So I guess welcome, welcome to the family. I guess. Thanks for being here. I guess. Hopefully you can work yourself out of like, I don't know, whatever it is that you're working through. I guess. Anyways, have a good one. Hey, thanks for the follows, guys. The shares, likes, comments, etc. I appreciate all you guys. We're gonna bring up the next guest right away. Hi, are you at least 18 and do you believe in a god?
Yo, what's up? Yeah, I'm 33 years old.
Okay. And you do believe in a god?
Yeah, I'm Muslim.
Muslim. Okay. What convinces you of Islam?
Well, I believe there have to be one creator who created the world, because I don't believe in like everything is from a slump.
So first of all, why does there have to be creator? And second of all, how did you come to the conclusion that it is the Islamic god and not some other god or being out there?
Well, mostly because the Quran is the latest revelation.
Okay. I mean,
And I find it more truthfully than the Bible.
why is that?
Well, mostly because of the Trinity.
You find the Trinity more convincing in the Quran than the Bible? I'm not getting. I guess like, what is because like I've read the Quran. It's full of bullshit. I'm gonna disagree that your religion is true. Where does sperm come from?
From the balls.
Yes. That's the correct answer. But what does the Quran say?
Well, I know about this verse. I've checked it out, and you have to excuse my English because it's my third language. But
Okay. Hey, congrats!
when I
You know more
read
languages than I do, so that's cool.
But when I read about it, it says that the verse is talking about the stage in the fetus where
No, but what does the Quran actually say though? Like what does it say?
it's between the ribs and the backbone, I think.
Yeah. And the thing is like embryology is going to disagree entirely with that because it doesn't like there at no point are your testes like, you know, I mean, sure, I guess you could technically argue if you're like a little sack of cells or whatever, sure, technically you could argue that, but your testes like your sperm doesn't come from there at any point.
No, but the genitals are created in the womb, right between the bones, the
It's not
ribs and
between
the
the breastbone,
backbones.
though.
Well, I haven't I don't have so much knowledge about this. The reason that I came to this channel is like to ask you what your biggest issues is with the Islamic God or the Quran.
I think so. Mostly the condonement and commandment of just massive amounts of unaliving of people. I actually and constant threats of eternal torture in hell. I actually started going through a second time in the Quran and highlighting every single time it threatens hell. And needless to say, it's almost every page. Like this is literally page 1, and it already right here, this highlight here, that's a threat of hell. Page 1. Flip to page 2. Right there on page 2 is another one. Flip, let's see, 1, 2, 3 pages. There's another threat of eternal hell. Flip another page. There's another threat. Flip another page. There's 2 more threats. See, every single page is threatening you with hell. And that's just, it's not a good way to get people to like you.
Well, but if you think about it, it's quite logical that God threatens with hell if you don't believe in Him.
Well,
according to my opinion.
but you think that an all-knowing, all-powerful God, like, why does he have to threaten people? Why doesn't he just, if they don't want to be with him, don't be with him?
Well, because He makes the rules.
Yeah, so Allah could just be like, all right, put maybe right at the very beginning, hey, this is all my stuff or whatever, be with me or don't. Just know that there's like hellfire or whatever. And then never, like, he doesn't have to mention it every single page.
Well, I disagree there because it's
all
like
powerful
warning
God
to the
has
people.
to threaten people with hell to scare them into liking and believing in him. That doesn't sound like a very good God or loving God. Sounds like a
No,
God
but
that's
only
built. It
threatening
sounds like
if
a
you don't
maniac
believe
God.
in Him. Well, I wouldn't agree. But if you believe in Him, you will get plenty of good stuff.
Yeah, but telling people believe or else on every page isn't going to convince me. It just makes you look like makes him look like an asshole.
Well, what will convince you to believe in a God?
Evidence and reason.
Like,
And
for
there's
example,
no evidence or reason of invisible magic men.
So reason like scientific reasons or
Yeah.
like
Well, I
what?
mean, the reason I very much prefer if the reason was backed up with some sort of evidence, because I think reason and evidence kind of go hand in hand. Like you can if we're just going off reason, to be honest, I don't think any like philosophical argument you give me is going to convince me of an invisible magic man in the sky. That's why I don't entertain philosophy or anything. I'm very much an evidential person. I need something that I can test in a lab, right? We can repeat this test and confirm it to be true. Maybe even use multiple tests to confirm it to be true. And that isn't the case for a God. So I don't believe it until we're able to do that.
Okay, then we can skip the philosophical reasons, but I think there's stuff in the Quran that describes like scientific things that a illiterate man wouldn't know in the 7th century.
Like what?
For example, the moon reflecting the sun's light. It's impossible that a illiterate man from Arabia.
What is where is that in the Quran? I'd like to look at it.
I don't have the verse right now, but I know that it says that the moonlight is a reflection of the sun. If you Google it, maybe you can get the verse.
Let's see. Does 10:5 sound right?
Let me check it out.
I've got my Quran here.
What did you say? 10:5.
10:5, and then it says also 71:16.
Let's begin with 10:5.
Okay, 10:5 says in my Quran, again, this is an English Quran. This was actually gifted to me by an imam, by the way. So I love when Muslims are like, you have the wrong Quran, you have an English. An imam literally gave this to me, handed it to me for free. So like, unless the imam was trying to transgress me. So Surah 10:5 says, it is he who made the sun radiate a bright light and moon shed its luster, and ordained for its stages so that you may learn to count out the years and to make other such reckoning of time. Yeah, that says, okay, so it says, it is he who made the sun radiate a brilliant light and the moon shed its luster. I don't think that's too hard to, understand, honestly. I think even they could get back then that, like, if I, like rocks do reflect light, right? Like that's something we can test for. Like right here, if you have a rock and a flashlight or a rock and a lamp, you can test that rocks do in fact reflect light. So I don't really find that to be extraordinary evidence of there being a God.
Well, if you think about it, most people back then thought that the moon had a radiation itself.
Yeah, a lot of people did. Yeah, that's true. But
And
a lot of people
another thing in the
also,
Quran,
yeah, a lot. So I'm just not getting to where how it says that the moon reflects light. Oh, and it's actually funny because I'm actually reading this source here. It actually says that in almost all English translations of the Quran, surahs 10:5 and 71:6 are almost entirely falsely rendered to say reflected light. It doesn't actually say that, apparently.
what does it say according to the
I don't
sources?
know because I don't read Arabic, so I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, I guess my point here is that the moon reflecting a light doesn't mean that there's an invisible magic man in the sky. There's plenty of tests,
Well,
even back then, that could be conducted to prove that rocks reflect light.
okay, I understand your point of view, but you have to agree that there's a fair point in this.
No.
And we can take the other verse. I don't have it in my mind, but it's like talking about the two seas that doesn't mix with each other.
Oh, yeah.
You're familiar with that
What
verse?
was let's see, dang. And like define also don't mix because it's the salinity level, right? That's what it has to do. It's the Baltic Sea and the North Sea meeting, right? It's I don't really see anything extraordinary with that. Again, something that some people with a boat couldn't figure out.
Yeah, but like Muhammad didn't have a boat, and
Well,
how could
Muhammad
he know
like
this?
didn't write anything in the Quran, so who can we say? Who's to say? I mean, like you realize that like there's more than one author to the Quran, right? Like it's been edited and stuff has been added into it over the years, so like people can just like add that in later.
No, it's the original text
It's
from the
not.
time of Muhammad.
No, it's not. The Quran's been edited a lot.
You have some proof of it.
Yeah, I probably could get some proof.
Because as I know, the Arabic text is original.
Tell me every single word from the time it was written all the way up to now in 600 and something years. It's never once, not one single word has ever been changed. Is that what you're going to go for?
Yeah, exactly. Like we have the oral tradition when it comes to the Quran. Still today, millions of people know the Quran word for word.
Sorry, I'm looking up resources and stuff here, making sure I'm getting a good resource to debunk that.
No problem.
Actually, my Quran is actually a good example. Actually, I wonder if I can find it in my Quran. There's actually they messed up, right? And they actually put a little sticker in here of what the verse was actually supposed to say. I wonder if I can find it. Man, it's gonna bug me. Because there's like a little at the very bottom of the page. They didn't finish writing the Quran. They were missing like a bunch of verses, and so they put like a little sticker in here to show what it actually said. So that actually would be considered an edit, to be fair. If I can find it, it's just one little sticker, and I don't have it more. Oh, there it is. There it is. So let me pull up my camera so I can see this. Okay. When you look at my Quran, right at the bottom, right there, this, I didn't put this here. This, when I purchased, or when not purchased, when I was given this Quran, this is a sticker. There's nothing under this sticker right here. Okay. So what happened is they didn't finish, and it's interesting because like that, it just, they added this little sticker in here. So I mean that right there is proof that the Quran's been edited, because they can't even print out how many. Can you imagine how many of these translations they printed out with this, this part missing, and how many people are probably reading a false translation of the Quran because of that? I mean, can't imagine they caught all of these. That is considered an edit right there. So I mean, that my Quran existing is proof that it's not perfect, or that it wasn't preserved all the way.
Well, but that doesn't prove anything. Like the Quran is the Arabic text. Like if you compare,
Now it has to be in Arabic, right?
Copy
Even
of
though
the
it says
Quran,
the same thing in Arabic. It's the same thing. It still says that the moon split into two pieces. It still says that ants speak. Still threatens you with eternal hell on every page. It doesn't matter.
Well,
anyways, man, I appreciate you calling up. I'm gonna move on to the next guest. I appreciate you. The bald guy in the chat. What's up, the bald guy? I'm the other bald guy. All right, we're gonna bring up the next guest.
Hey, how's it going, friend?
Hey, what's up? Are you at least 18 and do you believe in God?
Yeah, I'm 38. I believe in Orthodox Christianity.
Cool. Yeah. So, why?
I had the question about the background.
Yeah, sure.
So you said God is the bad guy in the Bible.
Yes.
Just to be clear, before we get started, who are you identifying? The triune God, or what is your position exactly that you're identifying in the Bible?
The God that is in the Bible that is committing grotesque acts, or however you want to label him, whether it's Yahweh or it's Jesus, or however you want to label, just the God.
I get it.
When it says God in the Bible is doing, or the Lord is doing X, Y, Z.
Okay.
That's who's the bad guy.
I see what you're saying.
So it just depends on whether you think they'll you're like a modalist or whatever.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Okay, so God is the bad guy in the Bible. How are you cashing out, or how are you justification of what bad is there, the idea around it? What do you mean exactly?
Yeah, so I would consider bad acts, bad things to do, right? Things that would make somebody a bad guy would be condonement and commandment of slavery, grape, and genocide. It would be commandments of cannibalism. It would be abduction of women to give to stepsons to have to their own stepsons to have their way with them. It would be unaliving not only all of the people in a village, but also all of the animals, all of the livestock as well, or taking the young virgin girls and doing with them as you please. People who do those things, I consider bad guys. All of those acts that I just listed, the God of the Bible does. So, I have no other choice but to call him the bad guy.
Yeah. Let's say, for the sake of the argument in your life, let's say I grant all of those things happen. In your worldview, how do you understand what is bad in itself? What is your,
Yeah, so I believe in subjective morality. So I think all morals are subjective. What I might think is good or bad, you probably might have a different idea as to what's good or bad. And some guy who's down the street or across the country or on the International Space Station, they might have ideas as to what they think are good or bad. But the whole point is we take our subjective morals, right? We each take our subjective morals and we take those ideas and we collaborate on them to see what is best for our community, what is going to further our community and the human race and better our way of life, right?
Yeah, but what does
And
that mean
so-
though, when you say better our community? That's kind of where I think the hang
So
up would be with this live.
unaliving people is going to be more detrimental harm to the community rather than
All people,
allowing
or
them rather
what if
than
somebody's
allowing them
advancing on
to
you?
live and contribute to society.
Right. What if you're defending yourself? Do you think that unaliving people in a situation where it's life or death, do you think that you should unalive the person, or you should be?
If it's a life or
taken?
death situation and I am defending myself and there is no other option other than to unalive that person for my own self-defense, yes.
Okay, where do you get that standard from? To say that
Because
that's good?
I don't want to die.
Yeah, but that's a personal preference.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So is it also a personal preference when you look at, like, let's say books in the Bible or God's wrath and stuff like that, and you come to the conclusion that that was bad? Is it just a preference based?
Yeah.
So what's wrong with
yeah.
a Christian being beholden to what happened to all sorts of groups in the Old Testament?
Sorry, what was your question?
So like if Christians, let's say there's Christians that are beholden to the Old and New Testament, let's say that they're committed to the idea that the Amalekites had to be wiped out, and that was just their preference based on their worldview. Is it wrong?
Well, they weren't really doing it necessarily in self-defense in like 1 Samuel 15:3, or was it 1st or 2nd Samuel? I don't remember.
No, I'm saying
in 1
the
Samuel 15:3, they're not
justification
doing.
itself.
They're like, that isn't like a defense action, right? That is them being invaded, which is different than self-defense. They are being invaded because yes, the Amalekites did bad stuff, right? They need to be punished or whatever for the bad stuff that they did. But them being, it's different by, this isn't considered self-defense. This would be considered the Amalekites.
Wait. When
Hang
you say
on. No.
bad
Hang
in
on.
well, I don't know what you mean there. I don't know what you're saying.
I'm explaining it. So the Amalekites, yes, they did bad things, right? They went and did their bad stuff, and then they went back to their village, right? Okay. And then Israelites come, and they slaughter, they invaded their village, the Amalekites, in 1 Samuel 15:3. That is not self-defense. That is the Amalekites are now self-defending because they have now been invaded. That's not self-defense. Technically,
That's
the
not what I'm
Amalekites
asking
are in the
about, though.
right here, technically.
That's not what I'm asking about, though.
But
like when you say they did,
just hang on, I'm not done explaining. Hang
Brother,
on.
you don't
hang
let
on.
me
I'm
get
not,
to the crux of the argument.
No, I'm not done explaining though. Like I
know,
will
but
let
we
you
all
speak
know
once I'm
the
done explaining.
story. I'm saying when you say bad, that's what I'm trying to understand.
I'm getting there. Just let me
I know,
explain.
but you just invoked
I'll just mute you, okay? Let me explain. So first, that's the Amalekites being attacked, right? And the thing is that yes, the Amalekites need to be punished. What about when it says to take and keep the young virgin girls, right, and do with them as you please? What did the young virgin girls do? What did the cattle do? What
Happy to talk about it with you, but when you said bad, like that's what I'm
were
hung
you
up
even
on.
listening? Were you listening, or were you just talking?
Yeah, when you moved on from the Amalekites, I was not understanding when you just invoked the word bad. I want to understand your epistemological position to know what is good and bad. That's what I'm trying to investigate here.
Yeah, not
you
so
say
causing the
things are
least amount of
bad.
harm to somebody as possible would be considered what I think is good, is not actively trying not to harm other people.
Why are you committed to that worldview?
Because I don't like to be hurt, and I don't like hurting other people, because
Yeah, but
I know I don't like to be hurt, right? Like getting hurt hurts, right? Like I don't like that. I don't like that, and I don't want that to happen to other people because I don't like how that feels. So like
but
I just
some
don't want to
people
do that to
like
other people.
pain, though. Like how would you identify like a sadomasochist or somebody like that actually likes pain, things that hurt? What
Then
if they
we
like
can-
to be hurt?
So what we do-
that's why
so
I
what-
wanted to go into epistemology, and you wouldn't
So
let it go there.
what we do with that, and the reason, so like what we do with people who, okay, let's say we have 1,000 people, right, in a room here, and just bear with me here. We have 1,000 people in a room, and 999 of them don't believe that unaliving people is a good thing. They don't want to unalive people. They don't want to stab people or whatever. They don't want to do that. But there's one guy who does, or maybe even 2 or 3 people who do want to do that. What they all do is we all take our collective subjective experiences and ideas, and we collaborate on them. We come to a common understanding as to what a punishment should be, what we as a society think is best for our community that is going to further the human race. Unaliving each other isn't going to do that. It's actually going to harm not only those people, but it's going to harm me indirectly, because maybe that person is the farmer, right? What if that person's growing the crops? And if we unalive that guy, then who's going to grow the crops, right? So if we let the people live, then we were able to build a stronger, more diverse community.
My position is in the reverse of that, though. I'm asking about epistemology, and I'll give you a clear example here. What if all people delved into sadomasochism? Because your appeal is to the most amount of people and the greatest good for humanity don't want that. What if they did like this darkness? They did like this pain. They did like this suffering. That's why
Then that would be the law. Then that would be everybody collaborating on their subjective experience, right? Then I would technically be the bad guy in that situation. I wouldn't think that, but that's why we all take our subjective opinions and we collaborate on them.
But how do you make an appeal when you're talking about let's say the Amalekites? That's one a lot of people are familiar with, and bad things happen to them, and you say that it's bad. Where do you get the justification to know what is good and bad in your worldview? Yours specifically, your personal worldview.
Yeah, what do you appeal to say good and bad? It's well-being, right? It's based on well-being. I don't want other people.
No. That's not the question.
I wish you would stop. I let you speak, and you keep interrupting me. This is my live. I'm going to speak over you. So what I'm going to do is so now you're muted. No one can hear you. No, even if you unmute yourself. No, you're actually muted. Like literally no one can hear you. Now you're totally muted. No one can hear you right now. So what's going to happen is I think I'm probably just going to let you go right now, because I don't think you actually want to have like an actual conversation, because you just want to continue to talk over me instead of have an actual conversation as to like, subjective morals and stuff. I gave you my epistemology multiple times that I don't want other people to be hurt. I don't like to be hurt. So that's really what it's based on, right? And I know you've been talking the whole time, but he's really trying to unmute himself, but it's not going to work, man, because I have it turned off on the program I'm on. You can't unmute yourself. So I appreciate you coming up, but we're gonna disconnect for right now. Okay. All right. Have a good one. I bet you he's still talking too. We were doing all right though, but if you're gonna interrupt me, I was nice and I paused for him and let him talk. But this is my live, so no, Caustic, I actually didn't run at all. I just was trying to have a conversation with you, and you kept talking over me. So it's not really my thing. I was trying to talk to you about what subjective morals are and how I define my subjective morals and how we can all come together to determine that, like, hey, if we all unalive each other, then we can't build each other up to make a stronger community, right? We can't do that if we all unalive each other. But if, let's say there's 100 people who collaborate and they all say it is the right thing to do to unalive people, that's their subjective standard. That's what they think, right? They can go over here with their really nasty ideology, and then we can have our normal people ideology. And then what we do is, instead of going and unaliving them because we don't like what they're doing, we talk to them and we collaborate with them too. And then we still try to find a common ground. There's no point to unalive people at any point. There just isn't. I never understood how words cause people to unalive people. It's like, what? I don't get it, man. Reasonable doubt. Yes, I am a musician. Yes, I've been a musician. Let's see. I picked up a guitar for the first time when I was 9 years old. I wasn't super serious about it until I was like, probably 12, I would say. Then I was about 12. I got really serious with it. Wyatt says, if you're anti-religion, you aren't an atheist. Nope. Not necessarily. I mean, I guess so. There's anti-theist and then there's atheists, right? I think of myself as an atheist anti-theist. So I think that religion is harmful and you should not believe in religion. Not just that I don't believe in the God. It's that I think religion as a whole is harmful and nobody should be believing in any religion. I think it's all bullshit, all of them. Just live your life, do what you want, eat what you want, wear what you want. Who gives a fuck? Like when I could die tonight in my bed. Like, let's just live like this is all we got, right? And if there is an afterlife afterwards, we'll worry about that at that point. But right now, as far as I know, this is all I have. So let's just enjoy what we have right now. But thanks, James Thunderson, for the follow. Appreciate you. Reasonable Doubt for the follow. Appreciate you, of course. Buddy's here. Appreciate you, Buddy. Thanks for being here, man. Martin, how you doing? Original says, "Will if you do and you're wrong, you're screwed." I don't know what that is. I don't know if that was English that he was speaking. Man, we've actually had some good calls today. Actually, I was live earlier. I did a live earlier. Honestly, I was super hungover earlier, dude. I was so hungover because last night oh man, I drank way too much last night. Me and my wife just hanging out, partying here at home. Just having a good old time. We had just a couple too many, man. I didn't get sick or anything, luckily. But yeah, I woke up this morning and like still kind of woozy. But we got some McDonald's, and once I got the McDonald's in me, it was really good, man. I'm telling you, McDonald's after a night of drinking hits different. Like a good Big Mac. Oof. Real good. What's up, guys? How you doing? If you're watching this live on TikTok, make sure to double tap the screen and share it with your friends. And if you are watching this post-production on YouTube, hi, how's it going? Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more content like this. Heretic, says, do you have a band? No, I've actually never been in a band. I play guitar, I play bass, a little bit of piano, I play a little ukulele, I play drums, I sing. But I've never been in a band. I've just been a one-man band, just me and my guitar, baby. That's mostly what it's been. I've entertained a band a couple of times, had a couple opportunities, but not anything I was really vibing with. I like playing all varieties of music, and I feel like being in a band would like really solidify me to like one particular genre. And like I like playing everything. I don't want to play just one genre, Yeah. Cool, guys. Let's see if we got any guest requests. Man, I'm disappointed in that last guest, honestly. I thought we were having a good time, but he had to go interrupting me for some reason. Actually, let me log him in my caller log. Caustic. Good caller, kept interrupting. That's what the that's what the note says. Good caller, but he kept interrupting. So I mean, if he calls back next week, I'll probably let him up. We can try again. Maybe he just got worked up. Osama Abadi says, "Have you ever read the Quran?" Yes, I did read the Quran a while ago, a couple of years ago now. I wonder if I wrote it down. I have my Quran that I annotated right here. Did I write down when I finished the Quran? Yeah, I did actually. Wow, I actually wrote when I finished the Quran. 5/22 of 2022. That's when I finished reading the Quran. Interesting. Huh, that's cool. Didn't know I did that. Jay says, Jesus loves you. Turn to him. No, I'll pass. Hard pass for me. It's concerning that grown adults like believe in like invisible magic men in the sky and don't only believe in them, but are scared of them. Like imagine being scared of your imaginary friend. Oh man, that's like, what a depressing life, honestly. Like you live your life scared of your imaginary friend. Like, eesh, probably should go get some help. Maybe go see a medical professional. If you're scared of your imaginary friend, it's love fear. It's not. It's not. If you have love, you don't need fear. Genius. Why do you need fear? Says the guy with pink earrings. Yeah. Yes. Pink earrings. Yeah. I'm surprised you can tell that they're pink because the lighting kind of makes them purple. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, sorry, my pink earrings are cuter than your non-existent earrings. And also, they're gauges. They're not earrings. This is a hole. In Jesus, he knows me. Look, whoop, watch, woo, woo. Cool. How's that? How's that for you? All right, guys, if you're watching this live on TikTok, make sure to double tap the screen, share it with your friends. If you're watching this post-production on YouTube, I apologize. All right, let me get this out of here. All right, we'll bring up one more guest here, guys. We've got one more waiting in the queue. Misfit Messiah. Before I bring you up, just know I'm going to ask you how old you are. Well, if you're over 18 at least, and if you believe in a God. If you fail to answer either, I'll have to drop you. Yeah, and just don't violate any community guidelines, please. Hey, before we get started, are you at least 18 and do you believe in a God?
I am over 18 and I do not believe in a God.
Cool. What you got for me? You got a question, comment, concern?
Well, so I haven't been on your stream too much, but I do agree with your prompt, obviously. But just out of curiosity more than anything, not really as a challenge, but I heard you say something that at least gave me some curiosity. And you said that being an anti-theist is the same, or you consider yourself both an anti-theist and an atheist? Can you?
Yeah, so I mean, I was
like
I was kind of rough, and people kind of play with the definitions of anti-theism, right? So from my understanding, why I consider myself an anti-theist and an atheist is because like atheism is the position on belief, right? It's atheism, it's without theism. So like I lack a belief in a God, so that makes me an atheist, right? The anti-theist or the anti-theist would be that I am anti-theism. I'm against theism. I don't think it's a good idea. I think that you can live a much happier, more fulfilling life without it. I think it's a hindrance to your life and dangerous in most aspects of living a long, fulfilling life. So I think that like I'm an atheist, so you can be an atheist and not necessarily like hate religion. Like there's Satanists, right, who are technically atheists, but they're still part of a religion, right? They're not anti-theists,
correct.
I would say. But like me, you wouldn't catch me dead being a Satanist. I think it's stupid as hell. Like you're just a troll religion, stupid. Just be an atheist, right? It's much easier. You don't have to, you don't have all the extra mumbo jumbo with it. So I think Satanism's dumb. So like I'm an anti-theist because I think just like all forms of religion are harmful in some way, shape, or form.
So I think that it's I think that would be important to recognize the difference between religion and a theist position.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Because I think they're two different
I think,
things.
sorry, not to like cut you off again, but I guess like, yeah, I get what you're gonna say is that like there's a difference between like religion and theism, right? Which like I think so even regardless of the religion part, the theism, the belief in invisible magic men in the sky is harmful. As a grown ass adult who believes in invisible magic people, that's really concerning and definitely is not not a good idea to be believing that as a grown ass adult right here in America. Probably should be.
Yeah,
like,
I agree with
so
you.
like yes, I get I think what you're gonna say though.
So I agree with you, and I think you've pretty much answered my curiosity. The only last thing is, could you describe to me what does it mean to you to be anti-theism? And before you describe it, what I'm understanding is you're saying that you think that having a belief in like an intelligent creator or some divine being is harmful to people, which I do agree with. Is that essentially the position of anti-theism?
That's kind of how I would define. Again, I'm not saying I'm like the arbiter of the definitions of anti-theism, just from like catching me off guard, asking me, that's what I would say. I would agree with that. Yeah. So like kind of like,
well,
like I'm an atheist, right? I can be an atheist and like not believe in a God or whatever. But the point of like what I do is that I try to show the dangers of Christianity or Islam and believing in the God and what you kind of have to kind kind of what you have to believe or follow in order to be a Christian or believe in
So
that God type of thing.
I was just going to say you might be doing a little bit of extra work, and I don't mean that as as like a critique, but like, for instance, I think that a real like understood atheist, a person who has strong convictions and they understand what they believe, they're not mad at religion or they don't have like some kind of trauma that they're still dealing with from religion. I think that the average atheist, who is again a well understood one who understands what it is they believe, already believes that theism and religion both are harmful to humanity, is what I would say. But anyways,
I don't
digress.
see. That's the thing, is that I don't think I get where you're coming from, but like the atheism thing is just the position on the belief. So it's just like,
correct.
I
like,
lack a belief in a God.
but if you
so
don't,
like your feelings of the religion is when the like anti-theism bit would come in. If you get what I'm saying.
no,
So like
yeah,
I don't think I'm necessarily doing too much, or doing too much work. I mean, honestly, I don't think I'm doing enough. This content creation stuff in general that I do. I mean, I probably spend 2 hours, 3 hours of my entire week doing this. Like it's not like a lot of work by any means. I mean, it's my second job if I'm being honest, so I do get paid from it. But I don't really put a lot of effort into it. I still have other hobbies and interests that I would argue I put way more effort and energy into like my music than I do into this.
hey, I appreciate you letting me up. I got to go. Thank you, buddy.
For sure. Appreciate
Enjoy
you.
it.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Appreciate you. Hey, he was cool. He was calling for some understanding and stuff. So, W guest, by the way. He was a cool guy. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to get out of here. I've been live for an hour and almost 18 minutes. I think this was a great redemption live from the one earlier. The one earlier was just not really cutting it, man. I think we got some really, 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 really genuinely good callers this second time around. Now that I'm feeling a little bit better, I got some food and energy in me. So I think we got some great calls. So you can catch this on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, thanks for watching the entire live. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to my channel for more debates and conversations and just lives like these. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, anywhere. You just type in Unquestionable Calvin and you'll find me anywhere, or you can check out the link tree in my bio of pretty much anywhere you may be watching this. There's my link tree somewhere around there. Bring you to everything that I do. I also have a PayPal link, which you're welcome to leave a donation. I'll give you a shout out on my next video if you do leave a donation, and of any size. If you send me any donation of any size, I'll give you a shout out on the next video that I post. But it's not required. I just appreciate all you guys being here, watching, and supporting. I appreciate everybody. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. My name is Unquestionable Calvin. Make sure to stop believing in fairy tales. You guys are way too old, way too smart for that. Don't believe in religion. Leave religion. Religion is dangerous. Yeah. Love you. We'll see you.